Hello GSA peeps, it's Stanley Bob and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, and here we are just about where's that come from? I haven't put one of these in yet. Obviously when I was clicking up here somewhere I've accidentally added something, clicked it. So yes, the third and I'd say not final, but you know, third step waypoint. Where's my little mission thing here? Is that it? No, that doesn't show me all of it. Ooh, click to switch to SPH. Oh, I see. Don't want to switch to the SPH, I want to stay in the VAB. Vehicle Assembly Building. I can't remember what SPH stands for off the top of my head, but here we are, and this is the latest mission. We have to have something that weighs at least 30 tons. It needs to have 2 stages. Well, that's not too much of a problem. It can't exceed 48 parts. Well, so I'm guessing that we haven't got a bunch of parts. We'll have a quick look at those in a bit. It can't exceed 56 tons, fair enough, and it needs definitely one of these Probodyne stay-put links. And one thing I had noticed when I was up here is actually we have the QBE Probodyne, which is a slightly more advanced probe core. So we're not at the point where we're putting Kerbals into space yet. But it needs to create a rocket and a probe that can achieve the equatorial orbit. Ah, but look, I missed this bit. Launching from the Woomerang launch site. Okay, that is going to need a little bit of tweaking because the Woomerang site is not on the equator, not like the Kerbal Space Center. So once we launch, we're not going to be in equatorial orbit, so I'll have to change the inclination of the orbit to make it equatorial, but that's not a problem, we can do that. Looking at these 2 cores here, we've got to have one of these, so let's start with that. And it doesn't say that has to be used, I can put that one straight into hibernation for instance, so we're not actually using it, and then I can add it back up with one of these, so let's put that underneath. Now the advantage for using the Probodyne over the stay-put is, if I look down through here, it tells you you've got SAS, Stability Assist, which means okay, while it doesn't hold prograde, retrograde, it means when I point it in a direction, it'll try and stay in that direction, provided the physics allow it, which is something we really struggled with in the last couple of missions. So that's that map. It needs to have the amount of DV we need to get into orbit is about 3,400. So let's have a quick look at what else we've got. Fuel tanks. We've got this funny pointy one here. We've got the 800s here, and we've got these little tiny Oscar Bs here. These are good for the little probe, so we could chuck a couple of those on like for that, and then maybe, what should we say, let's have a 4 arrangement around here, build that out like that. So that's our sort of little what do they want to call them, you know, yeah, probe satellite, that's what we're making. Then looking down through here, what engines have we got? We've got the Kodiak. I've not actually used this in the past, but looking at it, it's a big meaty engine. It gives you 247. Actually, it's not bad thrust at sea level as well as in a vacuum. It works better in a vacuum. Coming down gives me electric charge, so that'd be useful. And down here, yeah, that's it. One thing I do notice is there's no gimballing, there's no steerage on this, so if we were to chuck this on the bottom of here, I've got a bit of a problem in that it looks silly. Not enough fuel there to make it last anyway, but yeah, that's, yeah. Right, let's get rid of that for a minute. And then we got the Twitch. Now the Twitch has got some vectoring on the gimbal. It's a little side thing, so we could put, you know, a few of those on like that. We've got the Cub vernier engine. I haven't used this. Ooh, that looks slightly bigger, so that might be slightly more meaty. And actually, that's got a huge great gimballing range, 22 degrees. Can't demonstrate it in the VAB here, but it uses about 1 thingy per second plus oxidizer. That one there is half, so but that's 15 and 16 kilonewtons of thrust, and that's almost double it. So actually, performance-wise, that is the bigger engine. But they've got gimballing. I wonder if I could do something like building something like that, but using a bunch of these down the bottom to sort of thrust with, because that is producing 28 kilonewtons, so it's about a tenth of the thrust. So say 4, maybe 8 of these on the bottom might give some steerage way. Bear that in mind. Command and control, nothing in there. Structural, we've got some struts. Yeah, we're going to need struts. And we've got some of these stability launch enhancers. Oh, launch stability enhancers. They're always useful. Nothing in the robotics. Coupling, going to need some of these. And payload. Ah, yes. Okay, we have a jet stream shell, so I can make something off the bottom of that. Make it nice and streamlined. Aerodynamic. Interestingly, we don't have any steerable fins, only the basic fins. Nothing ground, nothing thermal. Ah, interesting again. The only battery, we've got batteries, but I've got no way of charging them apart from on the engines. It does come with an aerial. Definitely going to need an aerial. Let's chuck one of those on there to remember me to put one on. Science, cargo, none of these bits down here because these are all part of KIS, which we're not using. So, just want to know. See, this uses 1.5. That uses 1. So this is the more. Yeah, better off chucking one of those on because we need it for some reason. And having that one, putting that in hibernate, keeping that one underneath. Not so sure about this business here, so I'm going to get rid of that. Plus the aerials on. Let's remember to keep those. And I reckon up here, probably if I chuck one of those on there, I'm going to need some batteries, and these batteries are going to be only going to be charged by the engines, which means that does these engines here, do they produce? Let's have a quick look. Doesn't look like that generates. Doesn't look like that generates. Is the only generator on that one? So is that going to be my second or final stage? What about reaction? We've got no reaction wheels yet either, have we? No. I don't know if this. Does this one have reaction wheels? No, it's got stability assist, but not reaction wheels. Okay, so we have a few problems to overcome. Now, I reckon for a first, let's use this as a last stage. It's probably enough fuel to up in what's an in-orbit to try and swap things around. I might even go for 3 stages, maybe, but maybe not. I'm going to need some batteries for power, and I think the only way I've got to power it is by this main engine. So I think this is my satellite here. So let's put a big battery there. In fact, let's put 2 big batteries there. I've got a weight limit. We're up to 11 tons. That's probably as much as I need for that. I'm going to need some of these engines. Let's put some of these with the big gimballing. I did spot as well. It says only gimbals in 1 dimension. So I'm going to need at least 4 of them. So if they gimbal left to right and right and left, there's some stability there as such. I could limit the thrust, but I don't know how all these perform, so we'll have to leave those for the minute. Get rid of that. We'll have to leave those like that for the minute. Right, so let's chuck a couple on the bottom of that. Oh, that's only a tiny little coupling. Okay, that seems to shroud the whole engine, but it's going to make it a little bit on the flappy side. Let's make the next stage like that. And while I remember it, let's put some struts down, because that tiny little thing isn't going to be anywhere near what we are on the weight wise. 22. Can I get away with another big tank? Right, okay, oh, it says what the current mass is here, that's 32, so I don't want to make it too much bigger than that. What I am going to do is chuck on another one of these big engines on the bottom. Don't like it clipping through the floor, so let's raise that up. Come back down, lots of space here, excellent. I'm going to need some of these gimballing engines here. Let's chuck them like that. That gives me 5,611. So that's my 2 stages, here and here. And apologies for my daughter making lots of noise in the background. So 4 of those, 1 of those, 4 of those, 1 of those. And I've got 2,035 plus 3,000 in the upper stage. That's so it'll be, yeah. Let's chuck, since that's not particularly aerodynamic, let's chuck the fairing in there. Oh. Don't want to make it that big. Let's fairing staged. No, make that fairing disappear. Oh, okay, well, it's fair enough. It's done it what I wanted to do. Okay, so lump in there, lump in there. If I've missed anything off. Some little engines. Don't really want the little engines, don't need the little engines. I could put extra staging on the outside, except we're sort of close to our... Well, I've only got 30 tons. Perhaps if we put... Let's go for 3 stages, because I've got the weight. Let's go for putting some small or bigger engines like this. Just the 1 stage on the side here. Or I can't. Yeah, I could do that with some of those on. Just want to snap those to that. Just stick those in there. And I've got no... Well, I wonder if I could put extra fairings on those just to make them aerodynamic. Yes. Okay. Oh. Come on, clip from that. Get in there. There we go. So we've got aerodynamic cones. It's not quite the way I'd use cones if we had cones. Those should empty first, and then, oh, actually we want to, yeah, it did. Make sure they are actually snapped to the... Come on. Can't see whether they're snapped to the... That's better. Let's just move those down. Like that. Excellent. And I'm not too worried about those. Let's get those all firing off. Shove that up. Anywhere really, because I don't want to get rid of those. Get rid of those. That stage is that one there. Those fire there. So we fire all 4 of these first, along with that. get those firing as well. Might give me some steerage way. See how this works. And then actually let's take that'll do. See how that works. Okay, so current mass. Oh, current mass is 81. Crikey, I'm well overweight. Okay, perhaps we don't need all 4 of those then. Let's take those off. Let's go down to 2. I know there's a shortcut key for doing that, but I can't think what it is off the top of my head. Need to attach these again. They're so flaky to sit on the. Go on, get on there. So it's gone all 4. Right on, take those off. Put these. No, just one. 2. Let's go for left and right. In there. That's better. Put those in there. Attached to the. I always struggle with those little ones. Let's go for the bigger couplings here. It's so much easier to see when they're actually attached or not. He says. Yeah. Oh dear, come on. If anyone knows an easy way to make these attach properly, always end up having to shuffle them down. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the thrust weight ratio. It's just below 1, so actually I do need to fire these all off. Let's put that there. Fire these all at the same time. That gives me a 1.5 thrust ratio, so that's actually not bad. It's not overly powered. And this first stage now gives me, well, doesn't give me much at all actually. Well, because of course we'd be, yeah, by the time I fired off that tank I'd be way through that tank, probably halfway up into that one because of these as well. Okay, I think that will do. Let's save that, go for launch. Okay, and we're back, and I just realised before I stopped recording that actually we needed to drop a little of the fuel in the side tanks there because we were a little bit overweight, so I just dropped those enough to bring us into the weight limit. And this is it, your first flying. Are we nervous? Well, to be honest, you know, it's a probe, it's not too much of a problem. Don't know how this is going to produce. My plan is to lift off and then sort of tilt over, go 090 even though we're not on the equator, and then just see what sort of orbit it leaves us. So let's get going. Just for a second. a quick look at this. Hasn't given us any extra points to shoot at, but wasn't really paying too much attention to the apoapsis then. Came up way too steep, but point ourselves pro grade. Oh, we can't because we've lost. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to continue swivelling around. Obviously now I've lost my engines, I actually lost all steerage as well. Actually I need to ditch those tanks because they were empty ages ago. And at this point here I do need to be firing the engine, so let's go for a little one. Go for turn SAS back on again. Go swivel around to where a pro grade is. There it is. I just want to head roughly at about 0. I just need to build up some horizontal speed rather drastically. So, let's do that. This is going to be this is got a powerful engine. Emissions are firing nucleus here. Planner at all. Let's get rid of that one. And this is where I'm going to let the fuel fan grid. Just need to land my set pattern. See if I can get it into orbit. So it's not too bad, it's just 5, so we're up above 70. If I come down to the map screen, I'm looking at an orbit of about 100,000, so, you know, yeah. What I do need to do then is come down, let's add a manoeuvre there, use a manoeuvre, let's come down to, oh, I am going the right way, aren't I? Yes I am, just checking. I'm going to move that up to there-ish. Oh. Just moved it to the... Tweaking this to try and get both reduce the node and by pulling on these levers here we're looking for some sort of equatorial orbit, of which once I've done that I can come over to the PE and drag that down a bit. That will just increase it a little. Yeah. What's that give us? That gives us 1800, and we've got 2000, so that'll give me about 500. It might just be doable. So I can warp round to that one. Actually, stop. Where are we? Can't actually see where I am. Let's go. Oh yeah, we're up there. Where am I looking on this axis here? We're up there somewhere. Okay, so we've got a 27-second burn, and I want to be 2 minutes away. Also want to burn very, very slowly. In fact, what we can do with this is we can take this out, shut down the main engine. Could have done this with an action group, this would be rather good. We can then just tickle those in, and I want to go can't remember which action we wanted to do. It's the triangle I want to head at. It's there somewhere. Where are you? No, it's the other way. So obviously because I'm burning there, oh actually it's the node I'm looking for. It's the blue one. Don't have to. So once I'm actually pointing out the node, it's still got, well, it says 23 minutes there, we know it's about 30 seconds, so I'll shut the engines off there for the minute. We can come round to, could be there in about a minute and a half. I want to come back to about there. And that's 30 seconds there, so let's go for level. I've only got 443, so actually what I want to do is come around here. That one, I want to burn retrograde. Add maneuver. What on earth is that? Get rid of that. Burn retrograde. Bring it down to roughly about that. That's probably not far off. That's 360, so oh. So let's warp round to, it's not going to be a very long burn at all, that, so we could come into about here. And again do exactly the same. Deactivate that main engine. Go for tiniest of tiny burns with the, can also derate the engines if I needed to more. Hold there. We've got 5 seconds to go, so let's reactivate the main engine and go for a little bit out still. Oh, there we go. It's actually accepted that. Well done indeed. All of Kerbal shall hear our radio signal. Just imagine what we've unlocked today. However, we cannot risk our rocket entry falling. It's disappeared. I didn't read all that. I'll have to watch the video back. So let's cancel that rescue node. There we are. In orbit. My electrical power actually survived reasonably well. Oh, first time a plan worked, first time. Okay, so I've been playing around a little. Seem to have got to the end of this bottom of the mission thing down here. I was half expecting it to slide along to the next mission, but it isn't, so I've got a feeling I've probably got to go, well, out of here, Back to the Space Center. Come on, when you want to. It won't actually let me get into here. This is locked. That's locked. That's locked. So I can't actually click anything, and it hasn't booted me to the next mission. There's no way of accessing the next mission from the mission tab. So I think what we need to do now is probably quit to the main menu. So generating mission vessels here again, but actually if we're quitting to the main menu, this is a little bit clunky. I thought this was going a little bit smoother, so you didn't have to keep booting out and loading different save games if you like, but I've just had a quick thought. That pauses me thinking. Right, so here we go, playing missions here. Funny how the clouds superimpose over the writing. Come up to the stock mission tab. So I've done all 3 flights on this. There's the repeat of the same mission tree. Doesn't actually tell you a lot there. It does tell me that, yeah, beginner missions. My current score. And so that is the next one. Mission is all about how you well form under pressure, or lack thereof, if you made it to orbit in Velsk. HOD 2. Oh, okay, that's the name of that. Command module. Oh, that's good. If you made it first group mission, something terribly wrong. Right, so these are the objectives, and I think we'll just go straight in for it. But that might have to wait for the next video. Keep these videos fairly short, particularly if I don't struggle. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Look at that. What that is up there. What's this comsat? It's not my comsat, is it? No. Anyway, thanks for joining me. If you want to subscribe and see more, let's see how this mission goes. Hit the like button, let me know what you think down below, and we'll see you all in the next one.